Okay. All right. Cool. So, still working on this sanctuary system. Just thinking about it, I should really do like a video update with everything that I've been up to, because the game has changed a lot since last vlog. But that's beside the point. Let's continue with the sanctuary system. So let me see where I'm at the moment. Actually, I do have a piece of UI that I want to build. I'll build it today. I was getting cold. Let's see. So yeah, that's the piece of UI that I want to build today. Never mind the text, I'll obviously be fixing that. Which font is that? I don't think I have that font. See if I can quickly download that. But yeah, I think we're gonna be building this piece of UI today. So the character is gonna come. Yeah, there's a few changes to that system. One is that we're not gonna collect the orb anymore, or the power up or the skill, right? So the character is gonna come to the sanctuary, which is, you know, the house of the god, let's say, and then once the character gets to that, it's gonna unlock the ability to use that god's skill. And then what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna let the character interact with the statue. So the statue is actually gonna be interactable, which is one of the things that we're gonna do today. The statue is interactable, then we come to this piece of UI. I don't think we have any other piece of UI, but anyways, we come to this piece of UI, and then this piece of UI is gonna basically let the character, the player, pick between two different skills or abilities that the character can use within that god's ability. So in this case, we have Ari's skill, right? So that is going to be either the sword or the shield. The shield, you can either you can defend with the shield, and you can also like throw the shield to deal damage. And the sword is obviously just the sword, at least for now. But the idea of the system is we interact with the statue. So every god is going to have a statue. To interact with the statue, UI comes up. You pick between the two. You're obviously going to have to sort of purchase the two skills. You can purchase the both of them, but you can only pick one at a time. So that's what we're going to be doing. But the main challenge today is to get rid of the collectibles, let's say, because we had this collectible here, but I don't think it's doing much for us at the moment. I'm just gonna play so I can double check it. Let's see. It's actually taking a while to compile and to play the game. It wasn't taking that long before. Let's see. So, I mean, the effect is pretty nice, and we might still use this little effect somewhere else, but because it is quite nice. So I wouldn't want to throw that away, but there is no point in having this anymore. Like, there's no need to collect anything. So you're gonna get rid of this system, And then what we're gonna do is, like, as soon as the character gets in the sanctuary, then we're gonna enable the skill, and then we're also going to, well, I guess that's it, right? We're just gonna enable the skill. The thing is, like, I have a function in the code that enables the skill, so that should be easy enough. We can just replace the collectible with a trigger. But the only thing that I'm gonna have to do is just take out the animation, or at least change the animation. For now, I'm just gonna remove it. But if I have some time at the end of the stream, I might start thinking about what type of animation we're gonna be playing once the character gets in the sanctuary. So sanctuary enables the skill, and then you can interact with the statue. So the interaction with the statue is actually gonna be similar to what we do with the NPCs, right? So we're gonna get near the statue, then there's gonna be like a UI pop-up, and then you can press the key to then interact with the statue, and then this piece of UI is gonna come up. So that's the go for now. Let's get that one done first. As soon as we have that done, then we can focus on the other details. So I'm gonna start working with the statue. So there's a lot of things in here that I don't necessarily want them together, but let me quickly. So I'm gonna pick the object for now, just so I can create a prefab over this. I'm gonna call it pre. So it's gonna be a prefab. So what I'll do is I'll create a naming convention for this. So this is gonna be skill unlock statue, and then the name of the god. So Ares, and then I can have the same thing for all the gods. This is gonna be sprite render, yeah, because it's always gonna be statue. Transform doesn't really matter. I was creating a little bit of a piece of code last stream that there you go, skill ability interaction. So I might rename that actually, or I can just keep it for now. Let's see. No, that's already the code. Okay, so yeah, I was working on that on last stream, but the idea now is slightly different. So I'm gonna rename this to skill. What did I call the prefab? Already forgot. Call the prefab skill unlock statue. So it's gonna be skill statue interaction. Call it that. Okay, so what do we need? So we need obviously the, oh, that's actually better, because all I really need in here is the reference to the skill. Oh, that's better in terms of design info. That's good. Kind of hard to find those wins with game development sometimes. Okay, so what we need is a reference to the skill data. So I think it's just skill data. Yeah, cool. Skill data. That was super easy. Okay, so we already got the skill in here. Technically, if I really, okay, I'll change this slightly just for consistency, because on my game, what I'm actually doing is I'm having the type of the skill, then I'm searching on the database for that skill to grab the data from that. So it's kind of centralized. So I'll just do that, I guess, because yeah, it's more organized that way, and it's centralized. So if I ever change it, I don't have to go back and manually link everything. So I'll keep that workflow for now. Okay, cool. So we have a can select. This is inherited, so I don't think I'll touch that, at least for now. Stop interactions, resume interactions, return to previous state. I don't think we have that. Why is he complaining about that? Oh, it's an override, isn't it? Yeah. Override. Cool. Okay. Alright, so this is triggered to show the skills, abilities in the UI. Okay. I'm actually gonna, yeah, let's wait for Unity to compile. But I'm actually gonna copy the structure from an NPC because I think that's easier. And then from that, I'll change the layout and stuff. I actually might want to do like particles and more effects in here. And I don't know why it's taking that long to compile lately, but whatever. Yeah, I might do particles and UI and just like a little bit of interaction so the player knows that this statue is actually something to interact with. Okay, cool. So, pick the statue. Yeah, before I do that, let me grab the NPC reference because I don't want to redo everything from scratch. So this is an NPC. Let's break it down. Oh, interesting. So yeah, I forgot I was doing that. Well, we can still do that. So let's follow the same format. So we have the model. Oops. We have the model, which is just a sprite. So I'm gonna copy this. Yeah, I might just do it in here actually. So paste, put in as new. Then we can remove that one. I'm also gonna copy this. Copy scale. We're gonna do that one. Oops. And paste. Cool. Okay. So yeah, we have the model separate from the core object. I forgot I was doing that. And then logic. Let's create that too. Following the same structure because it is working nicely. And the workflow is quite easy to actually maintain. So that's why I'm doing that. And we also have a block for the UI. Okay, cool. So interaction. So that's the object that we're interested in. So it seems to be just a collider and then the interaction code. So let's do that. Create a new interaction. Oops. Where is it? So we have this Q statue interaction. Cool, that's in there. Add the gizmos. Okay, so the interaction is going to be in here, sort of. UI display offset. So I'm gonna offset in, and this is gonna be different between each statue, but for this one I feel like in here would be a good place to display the UI, right? Or maybe in the middle, like in the thorax, like in here, maybe, I don't know. 2.5. We'll test that. Resets after deactivation, sure. Can't quite read the variables. I think it's a little bit smaller. Only activate when selected. Yes. Any facing direction. So yeah, that's also important. Because I don't want the player to be walking around trying to face the statue. I've done that with some other things. And with NPCs, it makes sense because you want the character to be looking at the NPC. But I don't think in this case we really care about that. And skill, this one's going to be arrays. So, cool. Okay, so we're going to go back to the code because we have things to do in here. I'm going to create a method gonna call it data management. Or sorry, region. Gonna call the data object. So I don't know. I think it's asynchronous, so I might need to create a task. I might need to return a task. But I'm not sure. Let me double check. So get data. So this is just gonna return game manager instance game database. Then get the data. Oh no, so we don't. It's not asynchronous, so that's good. Okay. Yes, I don't have to call that every time. I can just call this. Also, I'm thinking if I could cache it for performance. Oh, skill data. I change everything from orbs to skill now. I get lost sometimes. So it's gonna be. I'm just gonna call it data, and it's gonna be private set. What did I do wrong here? Oh. Actually, I don't even need these anymore, do I? I can just do this on start or on awake. So let's do on start. Behavior methods. Let's. Okay, I can do that. So now I don't have to worry about this anymore. Complete this whole thing. Cool. Okay, that's better. Because it's cached, it's not gonna change while in game. Is only gonna change while I'm developing the game. So, and also like these could ideally be gone too, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Let's make the system works first because we changed a lot already. So cool. So we already have the trigger for the UI. Let's make the interaction work now. Cool. That's the interaction. Dialog trigger. Oh, I had a separate script for triggering the dialogue. I don't think I need that in this case, do I? I don't think so. There's also a virtual. Oh yeah, that's we definitely gonna need that one. That's a virtual camera. So this is basically gonna allow us to focus, or to recenter the focus of the camera on the statue, like so. Oh, I think that's good. Cool. Okay, so that's the camera setup. Disable that. Okay, so on select, on interact. So we did have a thing here, didn't we? Let me open that because I don't really remember how I set that up. It's been a while. Tracked. Okay. All right. I'm gonna also copy the UI from this because it was quite nice. I might need to update that later, but for now it's fine. So I'm gonna move that to here. Yeah. And we can already see that ideally this should be a little bit lower. Like 3. Like that. And let's see, because we already got the animations for that too, so if we play in, and then L, okay, so UI has to be a little bit in, okay. Like that, maybe. I feel like this little container should be a little bit bigger, but it's fine. Oh, not what I wanted at all. It's fine. Oh. So get a UI. And then when select, I think selected only means that it, like the distance between the character and the thingy. I forgot. I shouldn't forgot about. I think I forgot how the system actually works. I'll go back to the character controller because I think it's in there. But I think what I did was I just like tried to search for all the interactions that are nearby. So in this case, I'm just gonna place this in here like that. Fine. Okay, so you have unselected and undeselected. So what I'm gonna do now is just call the animations, UI animations. So selected, deselected, and we're gonna do begin transitions, begin position, and then we have on interact, which is when the character presses the button, and that will. I don't think we need to do anything actual in here. Okay. Now all we need to do is trigger the UI once that's completed. So yeah, so this will be the call to the UI to actually feed the data. That's fine. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, I'm just gonna test to see if the UI is gonna show. Otherwise, I'm gonna fix that first. Then I'm gonna go to building the UI. It's definitely not triggering the UI. Oh, I might have forgotten the tags. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Layer. So it's on the interaction layer. Make it the same thing. Because I think I'm using raycasts or circle cast, whatever it's called. Overlap, circle overlap, I think. So it's interaction. Interactable was something else, which it's very confusing. I might have to change the name slightly. And I think because I'm only using layer references, I might get away with changing the name of the layers without breaking up anything. So I'm not using names for layers. I'm using the layer mask attribute, which I think saves just an integer. I think. Cool. Yes. Okay. Cool. So we got interaction, but it's still forcing me to face the statue though. And why is that? Shouldn't, right? Almost as if it's not considering the facing direction. Oh, any facing direction. Okay, but I still need to be faced. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna change that. Really don't know. I mean, it's not too bad, right? But I feel like people are gonna be lost in here. Like they wanna come right here. Okay, I'm gonna fix that now. So that's definitely on the character. It's Atlas character. So we should have an interaction. Thingy. Interactions. There we go. So check interactions. Yeah, it's overlap circle. Is facing object. So I think that's where I'm doing this wrong, right? Because it depends if the interaction forces me to face the object. Oh, well, hang on. Okay, so I think I need to do two things. Okay, so any facing direction is actually working. Because I can look in, it doesn't matter. But what I do need to create is I'm gonna do a little section just for this. Needs to face interaction. So I'm gonna set this to true by default, just because every other object uses this. But obviously, needs to face interaction. Okay. And then on the Atlas character, and where am I? Okay, so what I can do is, if it's facing, but I only need that if, I guess I can do, oh, I know why I did that. It's because if I have two interactions, then I want the player to select the one that they're actually looking at. So I'm gonna have to modify this too. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to. This is not a problem right now, so I'm just gonna write it down so later I can fix it. But if I ever place two interactions in the same thing, what is gonna happen is, I want the player to select not the closest one, but the one that the player is looking at. So interaction detection needs to account. I'm gonna write it down. Don't forget. Well, it's not important right now. But what I can do is current interaction. Oops. Current interaction. Dot needs. If I don't need to face it, then it's already gonna trigger the select. But if I do need to face it, then I need to face it. I think that's it. Yeah, that's gonna need to be a lot more robust. But again, if I don't have two interactions, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But let's say, you know, I have objects in the ground that are gonna fall with physics that I want a player to kind of pick up or do something with it. Then it might be a case where the robust system will win, right? Okay. So in my case here, I want to check this off. And also, just for clarity in the editor, but sometimes those systems, like, I don't touch them for a very long time. So I do want to add in here, show, oops, show if. So I need two conditions in here. One is if this is true, and that's good enough actually for this. So on this one I need this to be true and this to be false. And I think I clicked sign in on Visual Studio. Couldn't done that. Anyways, let's wait for that to compile, and then we'll just double check the inspector working. Then it's fine. The next step will be to build the UI, and once I press the button, pause the player. Oh, actually I can do that right now. I can pause the player while Unity is compiling. So I think it's just game manager instance, yeah, game level. I think I have, yeah, Atlas pause. Pause game. Should I pause the game? Yeah, no, yeah, that's correct. I should pause not only the character but the whole game, right? If I click it, if there's like enemies chasing, I should stop everything and then. and I press save again. Now, wait for that to finish compiling. And then we need to start building those UI. So I have to grab that font because I don't have it on the project. Called Indico. Yeah, let's do that. I think I have a folder for that. Fonts. Yep. New folder. Indico. I think I have a. Nope. Then we need to create a font font asset. Is it? I never know which one. Need to do SDF. Is that it? Looks like it. Well, I can test it. Whatever. Fonts in. Cool. This doesn't look right at all. What happened to the sword? Jeez. This is also going to be a prefab, that's why I'm moving out. Well, actually, both of them are going to be a prefab. But that's beside the point. Let's finish the statue. So, okay. So I got the interaction. Then we can pause the game once this is selected. Oh, I have invalid token. Oh yeah, that was my bad. No need this again. Because there's an expression. Okay. So if I click this, then I can select any facing direction or a target facing direction. Cool. All right, let's just test this because I haven't tested this yet. See how that's gonna go. So I think that's gonna work just for the interaction side of things. Then we pause the game, and then I'm gonna build the UI now, and then feed the data into the UI, and then the next step would be create a purchasing system. So maybe instead of giving the skill directly, what I could also do is once I interact with the statue for like the first time, I can unlock the skill. Because it's just a method that I can call, and I think it makes more sense to, right? But yeah, we'll try that. So yeah, now I don't need to worry about being like facing the object, which I think for the statues make a lot of sense. And I can come here and just press the button. The game's paused now, but yeah, that's beside the point. Okay, cool. Forgot to check. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so in terms of the prefab, I think that's it. Oh, do you know what I'm gonna do? I shouldn't really do that, but well, not that I shouldn't. I don't think it's the best use of my time right now, but I'm gonna organize this properly. So hang on. I'm gonna copy component, move this over here. Gonna copy the scale, paste scale, then I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna reset the scale here and remove this sprite. Because then what I can do is I can add like the effects, like I said, which I'm not gonna do right now, but I'll definitely do before I finish the system. But, okay, so this is enough for us to start creating those prefabs. So let me find the prefab folder. This project is getting quite big actually, which is kind of fun. I've worked on a lot of projects, but I think this is the biggest one yet. And it's kind of fun to see like all those files kind of extend and actually do something. But sometimes, especially like on smaller projects, sometimes you import like a bunch of things, especially assets, right? And then you kind of filter them and then you throw them out so that you create like a prototype to test an idea. Or, you know, in most cases, it's just like a very tiny project with just like some images and some code and some UI. Or even if it's a game has a few 3D models, but like this is actually a proper project with like massive, not massive files, but like a ton of files, like a huge amount. Where do I store this? So, and I try to be organized, but sometimes it's a little bit hard. Also, I keep these old prefabs, special prefabs, because I don't know the consequence of me deleting them. But I do want to do one day, just kind of delete all of the things that I'm not using. Obviously, I'll have to test, make sure if I haven't messed something up. Oh, so it's under orbs. Okay, so I'll keep orbs as it is because we're not using orbs anymore. And I'll create a folder for the skills. So prefabs, create a new folders. And then I'm just gonna drag and drop into the core thing. But obviously, as we create more and more, I'm probably gonna organize this folder to handle. I think we have 7 skills for now. But we are kind of changing them and probably gonna get some. Hello. Probably gonna get some of them removed from the game, probably. But cool. Okay, so that's fine. So we created the prefab. Now let's go ahead and build the UI. Okie dokie. So let's open the UI prefab or the container. And oops, here. With the UI, I prefer not to see anything else. Okay, so we have a bunch of things in here. Let me check what's the best option to do. So we have the pause. Somewhere we have the like pause menu. Oh, pause menu is here. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna create a new empty object. I'm gonna call it panel. I'm gonna call it skill abilities. Right, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna actually put before the roulette. No, I'm gonna put after the roulette. Oh, let's just make sure it is the maximum size we can have. And yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna open that one just to remember like what's base controllable panel. Let's see. We do have a let's open that one. Base controllable panel. Okay, so base controllable panel is so that we can use the keyboard and obviously we can use the mouse, but we can use the keyboard and controller with the UI. So it's base controllable panel. Okay. So I need to create a new class for this panel. Base controllable panels. Yeah, so I'll create a folder here called skills. And it's kind of fun to see like this library growing as well. So, and most of this code is kind of reusable. It's like I use generics and templates, and everything is very generic. Like there's nothing hard coded to a specific thing, which means that I can reuse. And by the way, I'm using for all the panels basically the same code. The only difference is I'm typing in the data that I need, and you know, the specific updates. But that's definitely a library that I can reuse in other games, which is fun to see. What do I call this? I'm gonna call. Hang on, what did I call the other ones? Panel items. Okay, so I'm gonna call this panel skills. Don't think Visual Studio opened the file for me, but that's fine. We need to open that, and actually, well, I installed the phone, which is good, but I'm not gonna put the back button. This is in Portuguese. Sorry about that, but basically what we need is 2 widgets. I'm gonna force it to be 2 widgets. We might change this in the future, but I think for now, just so we can test this skill or this system, the sanctuary system we're calling it, I think that's fine. So the data is gonna give me the icon. I can put the title of this in the localization file. All these abilities also have a data object inside the main data. So I think that'll be okay. I think I have everything in terms of data and setup. So that's good. What is this color, by the way? %75% of pass to this. Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's start building this UI. So I'm gonna do background. Image. and 75% opacity is 0.75. That's right. Okay, so now I'm gonna create the title container. Okay, so we can kind of see the background in here, down here, which is actually a good thing. So this is how do I do this? Because ideally, the proper way would be to kind of grab the same sizes, but I don't think we have the sizes properly. Oh, we actually do. Okay, well, that's not too bad. 1920 by 1080. Okay, so that's good. So the position is A53 121. I'll actually put this to the side so I can see it. So this container for the title, I'm gonna do it to stretch from top to bottom, and gonna go to like 400 probably. Oh, 400. Oh yeah, I need to multiply by 2, I think. I never know. Hang on. Let's do some math. So 120 times 4. No, it's times 2. Yeah, times 2. Okay. So that should be what we need in terms of scale. And then what's the A53 121 from the left? But I can see it's in the middle, so I can simply do an image. This is really bad. I don't know if there's a better workflow, but I just don't want to waste time right now to do this properly. Ideally, I could export this image and just place it over and just kind of position things accordingly, but I don't want to waste time right now. Let's focus on getting that done. So this is 121 on the top. It means minus 121. And then the size is 250. Oh, and I need to multiply all the numbers by 2. And then 215 times 2 by 170 times 2. So that should be the size of my image. I mean, it does work. Okay, so yeah, that is working. That's fine. Cool. I was concerned that the numbers wouldn't match, but it does seem like matches, so that's fine. Skill logo. Not really the logo, but it's fine. So let's see what's the position on the Z on this one. 291. Okay, so let's create a text mesh pro. So this is 1, and then it's what is 291? 291 times 2, and then one, and I guess we don't really care about. But that one looks wrong. Hang on. What am I doing wrong here? 291. Yeah, that's definitely wrong. Okay, I probably. Okay. We'll get there. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, so all the values are being multiplied by... Oh, that's why. I knew something was off. Like, it wasn't matching up to what I was doing before. There you go. Okay. I'm also gonna stretch across the screen. Like, something wasn't working and I didn't know what it was, but there you go. So, okay, numbers match up again. Cool. Something that I actually tested with the last build was, or the previous build, was the how it works on different resolutions, because there's ultra wides and monitors that are a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, or narrower, I should say, and wider. But yeah, I need to test the UI on those cases still, but it's not worth it now. What I'll probably do is I'll make a list of all the panels that I have and just have all those different screens to test, and then I can change resolutions and then make sure it works. But for now, let's just get it matching the design. Then the rest should be okay. So this is gonna be the skill or sanctuary. Cool. Okay, so everything seems to be matching up, or almost. What did I do wrong? Okay, so we have 582 plus 222. Oh, I missed it by 4 pixels. Okay, that's fine. Should work now. Perfectly aligned. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the title. So let's create a container for the objects now. And I'm gonna call these abilities because that's what they are. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same idea. I'm gonna stretch across the screen, and then I'm gonna use the height of the previous object to be the positioning of my container. And then ideally I should stretch it across the screen. What is this thingy here? Oh, my bad. Don't know why I did that, but it's fine. Do they match now? Yes. Cool. Or I could do this, right? So that I can cover the whole screen. And then do the same thing. Yeah, that would also work. Cool. Okay. All right, so far so good. So this is the Y positioning of the first element. So I'm gonna do a few things in here. First is I'm gonna create a viewport. Just because what I'm thinking is if I ever change this layout, I could scroll it. I don't want to, but if we ever get to the point where we have like a lot of abilities, we can always scroll it, right? So I'm gonna create a viewport, then I'm gonna create a content container. Content. Alright, yeah, content, it's fine. Cool. Okay, on this one I'm gonna do a horizontal layout group, and then I'm gonna create my first widget here. Again, that's just for the, what do I call it, the layout, the UI layout. Widgets. I'll rename this properly, but my widgets down here, which is not what I want. I want to align them at the center for now, so middle center. I'm gonna add an image so I can see the widget. And I want the widget to stretch on the height, because this is gonna be like the container for the widget. So control child size height. Yeah, that's what I want. And then the size of the widget is actually, I can actually determine by the thingy, but so I'm just thinking now, because I have like a little square that holds the widgets. I'm wondering, let me put that on the screen so you guys can see it. I'm wondering if I should export this image, those two images, and then just use them as images, or if I should create them in Unity. Let's see. My lazy brain is thinking export those as images, but actually I might do that because there's this light glow on those. Okay, I'll definitely export them just because of the glow, because if it wasn't the glow I could recreate this in Unity easily and I wouldn't have to worry about the image size, like in terms of upscaling and downscaling. But because they have this little glow, I'm gonna export them as images. And also, like, I do have a 4K display somewhere, so I'll test if the resolution is good in that. But let me export this as, actually let me rename this first. Oh, I thought it was a shadow. I forgot about this. I thought it was a shadow, but it's just the image on the background. Okay. Also, in the game, I'll try to do this, right? I'll try to align them properly. But let's step by step, right? So let's export this first. So select it, and I'll do 4x. Because 2x would be 4K, 4x would be 8K. 1x would be 1080. Half. What is half of that? I don't think it's 1280. That's 960. 1280 or 720. It's actually gonna be something else, isn't it? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so hang on. I exported without wanting to export. I'll do a little thingy in here. So this thing would have to be 720. Oh god, come on. 720. Right? And then I have to select everything. Okay, so let me double check the calculations. So 720 times half 360. Okay. 720 times 1.5. Oops. 0.5 is 1080, which is what I want. 720 times 3 is 4K, and then 2K is times 2. Yes, okay, that's precisely what I want. Okay, so yeah, because this is vector stuff in Adobe XD, I don't think it's gonna be like the resolution is gonna be super bad, but I'm gonna try that, and then I'm gonna export different sizes. I don't think I have a folder for that. I should definitely have a folder for multiple resolutions. I just don't know how to build that system just yet, but I definitely should have the stuff in here. So this will go under generic. Actually, I'm gonna create a folder for that. So skill one, and just skills, and then create a folder for the ability containers. Can I do 1.5? Yes, okay, that's good. Okay, so just gonna put on my downloads folder. So I'm gonna do one at 1x or replace it. Then I'm gonna do another one at 1.5x. Oh shit, it doesn't add the file to the name, that's fine. So I'm gonna call it right UI ability container, ability box. There's gonna be, I'm gonna put the resolution, so 720. Export this one. This is gonna be 1080. Do 2, so that's gonna be quad, so 140, 1440. Oh shit. Again. Copying, pasting. Mess up. Ability box 1440. And then lastly, we need by the way, we should have this for every single UI, piece of UI. Well, it's gonna be a lot of work. Well, I think supporting those resolutions is a good thing. And it's gonna generate us a little bit of work in that regard. So 3 times is 4K. I'm not gonna worry about 8K. I don't think our game's even worth porting to 8K. But we never know, right? So at least now we have the ability to do so. I'm gonna delete this folder for now. I don't think we need extra additions. Yeah, I'm thinking now is probably the idea would be something along the lines of, let's create a component for the images that checks the resolution and change them. Obviously, I don't want to impact the performance too much, but, or it could preload the images on boot or when we set the resolutions, something like that. But yeah, that will, one step at a time. That's the skills. Okay, there you go. So we have all the resolutions in there. Okay, I'm gonna do the same for this. That's gonna be 1 first. Multi-box selected. Okay, now let's export this as 1.5. Two. And then lastly, three. Ooh, okay. And I'm tagging, let's say, the resolution by this little thingy at the end of the file name. Hopefully that'll be enough. So that was a long side quest, let's say, that I did. Now this one I should probably do within Unity, I think, because then I don't have to worry about this, right? This is 25. What is the? Also 25. But much smaller. Okay, so put that to the side so we can actually start building this. So first thing is we kind of have to determine what's the size of the widget. So this one is 313, so 313 pixels divided by 2. That should be kind of what we're looking for. I'll put 2. What's the spacing? Let me check the spacing. It is 85, so let's put 85 times 2. It doesn't look anything like the design. Keep moving forward. Okay, so what do we need here? We need the image here for the ability box. So I'm gonna use the 4K one for now. I'll figure out the positioning later. And then we have the item box. So the item box is gonna be our procedural image. It's gonna have the same color. I'm trying to pick the color. Well, that's the color. And I think it was 25. Yeah. I don't know if he uses the same system as Adobe XD. Well, we're rolling with it. So 313. 313 times 2. And then 129. Something like that, right? Hello! Hey, Felipe. Okay, so we got... Okay. Now that it does look like that's correct. I might change it slightly. Oh, I know what it is. It's probably the by 2 thingy. Multiply by 2. 50, 50, 50. That's it. There you go. And then we have the white line, which is slightly smaller. With the size of 2, which would be size of 4 on this one. So procedural image. The border width is 2 in the W3, so let's put a 4 here. And then it's 50, 50, 50, 50. And then the size is 298 times 2. And then, oh, that's, sorry. Did that one wrong. That's 298 times 2. And then 4. Oh, sorry. 112. Perfect. We have a 45% opacity on that one. So let's count that 0.5. Let's see if the other one had opacity. Yes, 75. And music's way too distracting. Okay, so 75 is the opacity on this one. Okay, starting to look good. So yeah, that's exactly what we need. And then for the selection, I could either change the image like so. Ooh, but there's a very strong difference in here. So this gets smaller. Okay. So that's a little bit of a problem, right? Because this will get smaller if I just switch the image. What happens if I... Okay, just for the sake of it, let me do this. And then... The only issue with that is like this little bit that I increase, you can already see the image is distorted. It doesn't have like the full resolution. What I'm thinking right now is don't worry about it, right? So I might not worry about that right now, but I'm also gonna write it down so that I know this might be a problem and can address that in the future. So UI scaling. Oh, okay, just writing that down so I know I need to look at that after. So okay, anyways, so let's build this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna okay, so this is the container ability, and this is the background selected. And then we need the space for an item. I'm just gonna do image, or like a sprite, right? It's just an image here, so I'm gonna call it ability sprite. Then let's pick one of them. So I can do this word. Oh shit. I don't know if I do something like this and then I set up a margin. Because this one, it's different, right? Yeah, I guess I'll do that. That looks better, right? Okie dokie, so you have the image for the ability, and then this is gonna be the container for the ability info. This is the border. And then we have two things in here. So the first one is the item. Which I'll have to do a little bit of arithmetic. So 4, 2, 4, 2, 7. 494. So I want to be precise, right? So 494 minus 427, so that's 67 times 2, so 134 should be the position of my title. Text mesh pro. Oops. So the pivot to the top, and then position y should be minus 134. Where is my text mesh pro? Why? Oh, I placed on the wrong thing here. Minus 134. That's definitely not correct. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Minus 53 times 2. Oh, that's correct now. Okay, cool. Yeah, didn't take into consideration the height of the thingy, which should be 3 times 2. Or in this case, just 53, right? Cool. So what's the size of the phone? It's 38. And then we're gonna change to Indico. Cool. That looks a little bit too big though. That is correct. Okay, so that's the title. Okay, let's do the description now. So the description is really short on the design. Oh, missed the window. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Because I was doing this one was just to export. I should be using this as the value for references. That's what I was doing wrong. Okay, so let's redo that calculation, shall we? Although it doesn't look too bad. So that's 654, 754. So that's 100. Size here is 80. So that's minus 100 times 2 plus the 80 times 2. And all that is for the time. Alright, that's correct. Oh, it was the exact same thing. Okay, that's fine. 80 times 2. Cool. Okay, so let's create a description. The description is quite tiny, so it's just one line. We'll see how that's gonna go. You might need more text. Ability, or what's the description, right? We know it's talking about the skill ability. What's that phone? Bunch Shrift. Oh, okay. So that phone is gonna be problematic. Sure, why not? Let's pick that one for now. Might need to change that one later. Yeah, we do need to create a new phone. A new folder for that. Importing the font. Then we can create the, oh shit, created a bunch of things. That wasn't the plan. I'll create out of one. That's what my lazy brain is thinking, but definitely gonna have to check what's the implications of that. So I'm gonna scratch that over the thingy as well. Over the width, sorry, I should say. So this is 8 to 5, that's 2, 5, 54, 27. So that'd be 27 from this. And the, what's the size of this? 106. That's definitely not correct. Okay, it's fine. I'll position it visually, then I'll put it in as reference, and then I'll update later. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit. Gonna take a little bit too long with this. So I'll just copy the lorem ipsum. So this is 28, which seems correct. Okay. Again, I think that's a little bit too small, because we might have 2 lines of description, at least 2 lines, I think. So I'm gonna do it visually on that one. Also, I think for some reason we have it too small. Like, what's the size of this? (432). Oh, I think that's what I did wrong. So 432 times 2. And then okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Obviously I did the measurements wrong, that's fine. 446 times 2. 168 times 2. Gonna have to readjust the titles and stuff. Oh, 76 is correct. So that was 100 times 2. Then we're gonna add, add the 80 times 2, which is 160. That's the position of the item object. The height in this case is 160. That's good. And then the description should be minus 40, minus 200. Then yeah, but because it's already kind of small, I'll move it upwards a little bit. Also, did I do this correct? Also, that's 57, so that's also wrong. So that's 57 times 2. Cool. And then I'll put that over here, so that is 28 times 2. I'll do a little bit of padding because but then again, that in that case is a little bit too big. So I'm just gonna do smaller font, which is fine. Okay, so the last thing for me to figure out is the line border. Okay, so that is 446. $167. Oh, that's weird. 469, 446. So that should be whatever that is. Oh, that's wrong too. That's 469. There you go. Six, 8. Oof, okay, that was a lot of work. I think that's fine now. The inscription is the only thing that I'm manually placing because I think the design is great. It's just that it's not going to reflect the actual game. So I'm adjusting a little bit, and if it looks too bad, then we can change it. That's more than fine now. Okay, so now the last thing that we need is a place at the bottom for the prices of things. It's like basically how much it's gonna cost for each thing. So I'm gonna do another container. What am I doing? Okay, this one. Just to make sure that it's okay. That's better. So I have the ability here. We have the information in here. Now we're gonna add the container for the purchase information. Purchase info. I'm also not being too strict. Like, I'm trying to be as the design. I'm trying to be as close as I can to the original design. Just that sometimes I try not to be too strict, because once you build it in Unity, it's a little bit different. Everything's a little bit different, right? I just wanna, like, precision is not the most important thing, but so the problem is, like, with the description being here, then I don't have a lot of space. So I'm gonna have to. Okay, so the description is gonna have to be like one line. Like just a few words. We'll see how that's gonna go. I mean, the easiest solution is to just make this a little bit bigger and then add more description to it. Okay. All right. So this is also gonna be a I'm gonna do the same structure. So viewport. I'm gonna try to unify my workflow from now on, just so it's more consistent across the board, you know. Then it's gonna be content, and then I'm gonna have a horizontal layout on that. Horizontal layout group. So the first widget that we're gonna have is just gonna be an image for now. So the widget itself is actually gonna be it's gonna have a content size filter, and it's gonna be minimum size. So I can remove that, and this is gonna be from the middle center. Yeah. And then in some cases, the reason I'm doing this is because in some cases we're gonna have a text too. It's gonna be just the amount. Oh. Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna adjust the sizing of things. But obviously this doesn't need to be as big. This can be anything smaller. I really don't think we need more than that, because we're not gonna have more than 99. So that's the maximum. So let's just fix the position of everything. Go. That took a while. Okay, so let's just fix the size of this thing. So I think I'm gonna change the viewport, because the viewport is not what it actually is in here. So I'm just gonna make sure that it fits within the border here. Cool. I don't know why it's not quite aligned, this one. And I don't know if I change the spacing in here. I think it's best, right? So I'll do a little bit of spacing between them. Still like, let's do 16. That seems nice. And then, for example, if I have another widget, I could not have the. Okay, so I definitely need to change the sizing on that one. Let's do 32. Let's do 40. Because if I have like a special item, like a unique item, I don't want the amount really. But if I have a common item like the essence in the game, which you're gonna collect like a bunch of them, then I definitely do want the amount required. Okay, so that's cool. We have the item, the amount, and then the item by itself, which definitely what's gonna happen. So I think in terms of layout, we have everything completed. Now I need to break this down and create the prefabs required so we can feed in the data and build this at runtime. Okay. So content, no, what am I doing? I just want to have the two widgets side by side. So I think that's perfect. Oh, I'm missing one thing. Well, two things really. One is I need like a little indication that you can purchase or equip or whatever it is at the bottom with the input. And I also need like an instruction for the player to exit this menu, right? So I don't want to do anything, I just want to press a button to get out of this. So those are the two things that I'm missing, I think, and that's it. That's the UI, but let's do those two things. So okay, so on the widget itself, what I can do is I have the purchase input here. So yeah, let's create a new container. This is gonna be a container. What I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna do that. No, sorry, I'm gonna attach it to the bottom, and I'm gonna pivot at the top. Then I'm gonna zero it out, and then do a little bit of a gap, and then I'm gonna stretch across the width. Okay, so this is gonna be the container for I'm gonna say action instruction just so it's generic. That's cool. So let's add a image. So ideally this is gonna load from the data. For now, let's do it like that. So space key. There you go. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna do a horizontal layout here. Can I get away with doing this and then creating the Text Mesh Pro? I think I'll be able to. Can I change order? Doesn't look great. Well, the image has like this little gap in here, but so that's probably on me. Well, I'm gonna say quick. Actually, it should be two separate things. One should be equip for when I've already bought it, like when I already have it with me, and then it should be like purchase if I haven't purchased yet. So we're gonna have this two way set up. Also, it does look like this is bigger than this one. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I didn't really like that. Why is this happening? Oh, weirdly, it takes into consideration the size of things. Oh god, that's not what I meant to do. I don't like it. What can we do? Let me see. Changing the order, does that do anything? Let's see. Yeah, that works better for me. Although I don't quite like it yet, but I think that works. Went a little bit quiet in there. Just trying to figure that out. I think that works. It's not perfect by any means, but it will do the job for now. Not a big fan. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of that font, though. Really not a big fan of it. Let's see purchase, because that's the first action that we're gonna do. I also think the image is a little bit too big. Cool. I think that works. I would definitely. That's something that I'm a little bit worried about because it doesn't seem to center things properly. But I like that. I think that works. Okay, last bit of information. What are we doing? We are doing the little key information to exit this menu. So I'm gonna duplicate that. And I'm gonna move this over here. And that's gonna be on the main panel thing after the background. So that's gonna be container exit. And I'm gonna attach to here. It's gonna be 0 and 1. A pivot. And then I'm gonna zero it out. Oh, actually, now it's centered. That's I don't understand why it's messing up this. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do this differently then. Gonna do. Let's redo that one. It does look a little bit weird, so I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to fix that. Container, exit, instructions. Okay, so to the left and the top, position that in here. 120. Oh, so 120 in the height. We don't care about the width at the moment. I'm gonna put a image. Oops. Image first. That can be our ask, for example. And then we're gonna put a UI text mesh pro. Oh, we also have a little icon. Let me export that icon. And then we have a little bit of text called exit or back, return back. Let's go with back. Oh. Okay, the icon that we have to export is this little arrow, so I'm gonna export it. First, I'm gonna export one. Call this one sprite UI arrow left 720. Problem is this is an actual image. I don't know how that's gonna behave. Let's do 1.5, 2, and 3. Oops. That was extremely loud. I don't know if you guys could hear it. Just Discord notification. I'm gonna mute it now. Okay, so I've got the images here. I'm gonna place them in here. I'm gonna create a folder for arrows because I think I have both like left and right arrows. Thinking about it though. I don't know if that's the same size as this one, is it? If it is, then I'm fine. If it's not, then if it's bigger, it's also fine. It's not precise, but I'm fine. Oh, tell me it is. Ah, yeah, it's the same size. Okay, great. I don't have to re-export it. Sprite UI arrow. I don't know why it's separated, but hopefully it didn't do anything stupid. 721. Okay, yeah, those look correct. Okay, so let's add a new image here. Let's go with the 4K image. Okay, so what I'm thinking actually is having that close to here. Let's increase this font. How do we do this? Do it like that? Or we do it normally and just do it like that? Oh, it's kind of fun, doesn't it? See, you know, I think it doesn't look that great, to be honest. I definitely had to put in what key the player needs to press. Just now finding the right setup. I can't even see the S key. Even on full screen. So that's bad. Right? Because if I can't see it. Is it too small? I'm gonna make this image a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit bigger too. Let's do that, and then let's do half of the width, which ideally something that we can measure. Oh, it's not doing that for me. Okay. 180. Oh, sorry. 19. There we go. Under height. And then with that, I can make this a little bit bigger. So image, left. There we go. And then I have the image instruction. It has to be significantly bigger, like that. And then the text, which is main. Or sorry, that's the instruction. And the image is the instruction key. Okay, I was talking mute again for whatever reason. I'm kind of stupid, but that's fine. I think works better down here rather than at the top, especially because, oops, in most cases, let me close that thing. In most cases, we're gonna have information at the top and we're not gonna have anything at the bottom. So have a little bit more space in there. So yeah, so that's good. I'm just gonna change the positions in here so it kind of makes sense. Oops. Okie dokie. I don't know why the Text Mesh Pro has this little bump. It never is fully centered. I might be missing something in here, but it's never like fully pixel perfect. Okay, that's fine. I think that looks good. Again, with the icons specifically, I definitely gonna have to look at them later and make sure that they work. Yeah, this is gonna generate a lot of work, but I think that's more towards the end. Like we decided what the UI is. Now let's go back on all the icons and the image that we use in the UI, because there's a lot of things that are not images in our UI, which is great. So we don't have to change those. We only have to change the icons that are images. And obviously we have a lot of them, but the fact that we have things that are not images is also a good thing. Okay, so that's the UI built in terms of layouts. So we do have to create the whole thing now. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach the script. Which I'm failing to locate. Notifications, main system, upgrade tree, skills, UI. There you go. We need to attach our abilities. Panel. Oh, okay, so it shouldn't. I named this wrong. That's fine. I'm gonna create a new folder. No, I'm gonna create just a new script. So this is panel skill abilities, because we also have the panel skills, which is in the main menu, or sorry, the pause menu. When you need to do whatever it's doing, it doesn't take too long. So what we need to do, let's think this through. So we need to change the title of the panel, which is going to be loaded from the localization file. We need to change the icon of the panel, the main icon of the title, which is the same one as in this Q data object. Then we have to populate the abilities, which it's dynamic, but for now we're only doing 2, so I might just do a for loop with only 2 loops. That will do, right? And then that's it, hopefully. And then obviously each ability is gonna have its own thingy. Okie dokie. I'm a little bit sleepy. Let's keep going. Copy that. I had a thing that did that before. Again, that's not super important. Got into the habit of doing this, so now I'd rather do that than not do it. Okay, so what do we need here? So we need the SKU data to populate. So SKU. We're also gonna need a few other things like references and stuff. So for example, I need a reference to the text mesh pro, which is the TMP title, and then we also need a reference to the image. Oh god, image, which is the icon, SKU icon, image SKU icon, SKU image. Ability SQ. Sure, why not? Let's organize this. We are also going to need some other references, but for now let's just keep it that way. Do we have a setup method? Base panel, I think it has a setup method. I mean, the base panel should have type. But fine. Not gonna worry about that. Because basically, if I do this as it is, oh, we don't really have a setup. And I don't want to be coding that every time. That's great for a base panel. Because base widget has it. Oh, I know what to do. Yeah, I know what to do. So I'm gonna create a new script called base data panel, which means it's the same thing as a panel, but it has the data attached to it. Doing those things so I can be lazy later, so hopefully that will work. Let's open that. Oh, it did give me an error. Do I already have that? Oh, it gave me an error in here. Oh, yeah, because of your region. Okay. This is part of a library that I'm creating in Unity called Solib. It's something that I've been building over the years. It's not like a massive library, but it has like enough code in there that is super good for me to kind of share between projects. Every time I create something that I think is really cool and can be reused, I put it in that. But yeah. So what we need a properties. Then we need a few methods here, so panel methods. This is the setup method that takes in the data, and then we assign the data. Then we call the refresh. So basically, all that does is every time we set up, call this method called setup, we can pass in the data that we want, and then this will refresh the panel automatically, updating all the UI and stuff. That's the goal. But let's see in reality how that's gonna work. So because this goes from the base panel, and it makes sense that it does, I might need to create something a little bit different in that regard, because we have base panels which are now related to data, which we have, for example, if we're dealing with settings in the game or multiple data types, like it's something that has multiple things, then we don't really care for a data type. But for examples where we have a panel that displays a specific type of data, then it's definitely worth having it attached to the data. So it's less work to kind of manage. At least it's my opinion, but might be wrong. Over the years, that's what I found. Cool. What am I thinking? Yeah, base controllable panel. Base controllable panel, base controllable grid. So I'm gonna create a new. I might just duplicate it. That's gonna be really bad. Because that's gonna be the same exact thing, but passing a data type. Base controllable data panel. You know, that didn't need to be. You know what? I'll delete that. I don't need that. I'm overcomplicating things. What I need is the widgets are going to be controllable, but that's a table. So I can make just the table controllable. So that what I need is input methods, which I'm gonna have for like exiting and purchasing. The public virtual void purchase SQ ability, for example, and then I'm also gonna have a method for exit. But in here, all I need is the base data panel, and it's gonna use a view data. And then I can have my panel method too. And just override the refresh now, and now I can update all my UI. So for example, what I can do now is image SQ icon. I can grab from my data dot sprite. I think sprite is the correct. And same thing I can do. I can call my localization asset localization dot instance request localization text. So I need a category and I need a key. So I can get that from my data object. Localization. Oh. Different categories. I think I can pass in. I'm pretty sure I can pass in a text mesh pro. Yes, I can. Cool. It's the first argument. So all right, so that setup is much better. Now it's much cleaner and easier to use. So we do have more to do though. So if I go to my Then I was mute. No, I don't know how long I was mute. Anyways, I was just talking about how I'm gonna create a. I need to stop muting my microphone. I think I was just about to cough. That's why I muted it. But just creating the class for the widgets now, and I'm gonna set up the table to instantiate the widgets. Created the prefabs, so now we have them as prefabs. But I need to create the both widget classes attached to them, and then create a table. So let's create the three classes now. So widget, skill ability widget, skill ability purchase info. That's the last thing I'm gonna do on live. I'll wrap that up on my own time, but just gonna create the classes and set up everything. And just link everything up, and then I'll finish the setup on my own time. Unfortunately, I have to go. But I'm definitely gonna do that more often. Like today was really, even though it was short stream of sorts, really productive. That's good. We're also gonna have a table widget, table skill ability. Just like a generic table that is gonna instantiate all the widgets that we need. Okay, so we're gonna open up those three Visual Studio LUMI. We're gonna open up those three classes that we create, set them up, and then link them up on the prefabs, and that's it. Okay. So, oh yeah, let's open up those three. Oh, God, I almost deleted it. Wrong button. Didn't mean to do that one. So this is gonna be a base widget. Oh no, sorry. So this is gonna be just base widgets. Of I don't have a tag for that, so I'm gonna create one now. Skill ability purchase. So that's gonna be our public item. Okay. This is definitely gonna. Oh, okay. I know what I need to do. I'll keep them like this for now, but I need to attach them to the skill ability because I need to set up on the inspector, like the rules for purchasing and all that. So. But anyways, we do have a refresh here. Uh, references. Image. Text, image, scroll, UI, so that's what's the amount? A little bit confused in here, but that's fine. So data, amount. I'm gonna make sure that this is a string. And that's it. I think that's all we need. Skewability. So that one is selected. So that's base widgets selectable. And that one is the skewability dot. Okay, so what do we need in here? So the first thing that we need is the sprite for the viewability. So that's an image. Okay. What else we need? We need the name. Viewability name. We also have a description. Viewability description. What else we have? We have our table, which we have to update, right? Table viewabilities. I think that's it. Let's go back to Unity so we can check out the layout. But I think that's it. Let's link everything up because that shouldn't be too hard. And then we can double check everything. Open the brief file. Let's go. So, oh, another statue. Let's open this queue purchase first. Oh, by the way, yeah, something that I forgot on this queue purchase info. If the amount is 0, we don't want to show this at all. So, if data.amount is 0, we're gonna do something, and if it's something else, then still has a equal 0. So empty item amount dot game object set to oh, forgot to do that. It's done. Okay, so yeah, sorry, got distracted. Let's link the first widget, which is the purchase info here. So we have a sprite image and then an amount. That's all we need. That was easy enough. Now let's go to the ability itself, which is this. We have a little bit more in here to do. Well, I'm gonna call this table skill abilities. Instead of calling, I'm gonna put okay. Let's link the code in here too. So skill ability is gonna be our widget. Skill ability. Then we have our ability. It's our image. Then title, which is the name, and then the description. This should really be name instead of title. There we go. And then lastly we have our and yeah, that was it. That was everything. So we do need the table with the purchase information. So let's put the table in here. And let's open up that table because I don't think I set it up. So widget type. So the widget that we're going to control is the widget skill ability, and the data type is going to be skill data. Base widget selectable. Base widget selectable. Oh, I don't know why it's complaining about the table thingy. Widget skill ability. Maybe I need to do this. No. Okay, so I have to, that's a lot of text. I have to read it, but let me see if that's the only error that we have. Yes, it is. Okay. What is it complaining about? Cannot be widget skill ability cannot be used as type parameter. Widget type generic. Widget type. There is no implicit reference conversion from skill ability to widget base widget selectable skill data. Base widget select. Oh yeah. Sorry. I made a mistake. This is skill ability data. That's it. Hello. How's it going, Ghost? Chovik Ghost. Typos, but anyways, let's go back to Unity. I don't know why it's not loading. It's taking a while. Oh, there you go. Cool. Okay, with that, we should be able to just link that up. So we need a container, which is this. And the widget itself, which is our prefab. That. And is default selected first? Yes, it is. It's horizontal. Yes, it is horizontal. Loop selection, sure. Yeah. Refresh and enable. We don't need that. Up as table. Field. By that, we should be able to link that up in here. Cool. Okay, that's good. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Do you spell like gosh? Oh, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got the UI set up. Now we need to link it up so that we can basically instantiate everything at runtime, because it's almost there. By the way, did I set that up? Oh, okay, so I didn't do the refresh method here. Let's do that now. Widget methods. Guys, we can do. Oh, not that. Refresh. There we go. What do we need here? So we need to set up the table. Okay, so I'm not gonna set up the table now. That's gonna take a little bit more work. Just so we can see if everything is linked up, I'm gonna do a simple test with sprite, like the images and stuff. Oh, I just noticed that I don't have an image here. And then we're gonna have the localization. Request. Title. Is that the title? Let's do the description too. Okay, so we're localizing the description and the title. Okay, so what do we need to set up the table? Let's. I was gonna do that later, but we're here already. Why not? Just do it now. Setup. Okay, so I need a list of viewability data. This is wrong because the table is the purchase information. Just notice that. Widget type. There's no implicit conversion from skill ability purchase info. Did I do this wrong? Skill ability. Skill ability purchase item. What am I doing wrong? I'm messing up the names. And there's so many similar names. Shouldn't take that long though. There's no implicit reference conversion from purchase info to widget selectable. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? It's the widget type and then the data type. SKU ability purchase item. Yeah, so that's the data type, right? And then we have the widget, which is this one, which uses the same class. Why is that not working? SKU ability purchase info. The other way around? Did I mess up the order? Oh, that's definitely not it. So widget, yeah, widget type first, then data type. SKU ability purchase info to widget widget SKU ability purchase info cannot be used as widget type. There is no implicit conversion from SKU ability purchase info to widget selectable SKU ability purchase item. Base widget select. Oh, because I know, yeah, that's not selectable. But I don't want it to be selectable. I had to really read that one. Base controllable table. Can I do just a base table? There we go. Much better. Yeah, that's definitely not controllable. Okay, let's go back to widget SKU ability. So what do we need now? We need purchase. Okay, so that's fine. We can do a for each or a, yeah, for each. In the data purchase info, and it's essentially the same thing, right? So not ideal, but for now let's just do list purchase. I mean, could I do that? Is that gonna be super bad if I do this here? Because then I could do I know it's not as readable, but at least I don't have to do this stupid conversion every time. And then I can just do data purchasing. Why are we complaining? Oh yeah, because it's still haven't changed this yet. So okay. Not complaining anymore. Okay, so we set up all this. So we set up the table, we set up the SKU ability, we set up the purchase information. What else do we have to do? We have to set up the last table, which is a selectable table, which is the SKU abilities table. In fact, I'm gonna change the name of the table that we have because it's not. This is wrong. It's oh god, not that. SKU table SKU ability purchase. That's the correct name. Oh, just have a. I wish I had more time today because I feel like I'm really going at it and doing a lot of things. But unfortunately, I have other work stuff to do. For those that don't know, I also do like freelancing and stuff. I was doing just this game earlier this year, but couldn't keep up with just doing that. A little too expensive, but it was fun. Hopefully I can go back to just doing that, but for the time being, I also have to do other things. Which is why I have to go in a little bit, but managed to do quite a lot. Which I'm really happy about. Boom, boom, boom. Just organizing the code so it's cleaner. I like to have my code as clean as possible because every time I need to touch it, if it's too messy, I'm like, I don't really want to touch that. But I'll be improving on that, I think. Okay, so after this finished compiling, we need to create a new table to set up the widgets for the abilities and then link that up to the main panel. With that, we should have all the panels and widgets linked. It would be amazing if I could test it and make sure it works too. So I'll try to do all that. I have a few minutes, but I think it's possible. Let's push it a little bit further. We're not going to be able to do the system to actually purchase the object today, which is annoying, but we'll leave that for another day. What do we need? So here, oh, we need, first of all, we need to create a new table. Table skill abilities. This one is actually going to be the skill abilities. Cool. So this is going to be base controllable table. And okay, so it's the widget is skill ability, and then it's the skill ability data. That one is, yeah, okay, so that's what I was messing up. I was confusing. I was getting confused with the two tables that we have. So that one is correct. Good. So what we can do is go back to our panel. Right here. I'm going to do a little vector organization. And let's having our table here. Also, something that I noticed is this is not supposed to be the title. This is supposed to be something else, which I'm gonna add in here. So public string sanctuary localization. That was the name of the sanctuary, and we might have different ones. So I'm not gonna build that on code. I'm just gonna pass in sanctuary localization. So we gotta set all that up so we can test it, but oops. Come on, set up. There you go. So we need a list of abilities. There you go. Simple as that. Okay, so this is linked. I think everything is linked now. So all I gotta do is make sure it's all linked in the inspector. I also gotta set up all the data. And then I need to link this new panel to the main UI of our game so that I can call it when I interact with the statue. And that should be it. And then if I press the button and it displays that, it's fine. I got what I needed. Do we have errors? No, that's cool. Okay. This is our, I know what I did wrong. So this is our table. And this is our table abilities. And here, what I'm gonna do is put the container here and the widget here. Okay. So then in here, what I did wrong was this was supposed to be the content, and this was supposed to be the table. And we don't have the widget here. Now we do. Make sure that it still works. Okay, that's. I was like, does this layout still work? Probably does. Missing the table, as I thought I was. Okay. I think that's it. Now, let's link this panel with the main UI. In-game UI. I'm gonna put it in here because it's a separate panel. Panel. I think I'm putting in here, right? No, I don't really like this because I think it's not very well organized. It's fine for now. Okay. Cool. Now we just drag and drop it. Save the prefab, call the method, and set up the data. Then we can test it. Hopefully that's all we need. I need coffee as well. Thing is, like, the thing that I had to do after this is really boring. Really looking forward for that, but I'd rather be making my own game, which is this. But anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining. But anyways, okay, so we have the thing here. Unity is very slow today. I don't know why. Also, this computer is like 10 years old, so that might be it. Okay, so it's linked now. Save everything. I'm just gonna double check if I linked everything in here. No, I didn't. I knew I was missing something. There we go. So now everything is linked. Can exit this. Oh, something else as well. I'm not gonna bother about this for now, but later I wanna do like an effect of this coming in and exiting. Like a little effect of the panel coming in, but for now I'm just gonna have it disabled. So, you know, every time I enable, it's gonna be just enabling and disabling the game mode, just for now. Okay, for this to work, I need to set up my data. It's gonna be kind of temporary for now, but at least I can set up. So R is a skill, so that's the one I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna set up a sanctuary key. Sanctuary key. I'm pretty sure I have a. Oh, I did this a long time ago. Probably gonna have to redo it, or at least clean up. But it's not gonna show. Is it? Oh, it does show. That's awesome. Okay. So I created this editor so it's a little bit easier for me to see the things. It's not super good, but because it's kind of like an MVP, I hope to just kind of improve on it until it's really good. But yeah, anyways, it's just a stupid thing that I created and really good that I can use it now. So skills. So sanctuary. It's gonna be in here. Is this? Yeah, that's English. So arrays sanctuary. One of the problems is like this is too small. So ideally, this should be a text box that I can increase the size. Again. So what I'm doing here is just like setting up the localization keys. One of the problems with this as well is like if I do this here, then I have to do the same thing on the other languages. So that's something I want to kind of prove to on the system. But then again, that's not for this game. Like I really need to ship this game. which by the way is also gonna be not this year, which I was hoping it was, but not gonna happen. We're too far away. Okay, so what do we need here? So we need a ability shield. And description. I spelled shield wrong. Shield. I mean, the description, ideally I should do something more fun, right? But for now I'm just gonna do Aries. Just so we have something in the UI working. And then we also have the sword, right? So it changes. Now I think I can get away with this, not doing another other language, because I'm just gonna test in English, but that's something I have to. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna solve that one. I mean, also like thinking in the future, like if I had options to import and export like a Excel file or CSV file, that'd also be a good thing, right? Okay, so purchase info. Oh, I did set up the purchase info for those, which is good. And okay, so the ability icon can just be the shield for now. And the sword can be the sword. Make sure that's saved. And I can always double check if I actually saved the thing, because I can come back here. Yeah, it's here. Cool. It saves like text files for now. Yeah. The reason it was text files is because when I created this was before addressables, but now it doesn't need to be text files. It could be. Also, I have to test the localization from Unity's package manager, because that might be a better solution, and I don't have to code it myself. We've already done the system, so I'm kind of committing to it. Might be worth looking at the other one though. Oh yeah, well that's fine. I'm not gonna bother about that for now. Forgot to finalize my statue code, which is basically show the thing, right? So game manager, game UI, in-game UI. What? What did I do? In-game UI? How do I access the UI? I forgot. I can't believe I forgot how to do that on my own game. Because everything is reactive, I'm not really calling anything. Oh, guess that's a good point, right? If it's reactive, why am I hard linking it to this? Let's do an event. On attach on skill attach interaction. I can just and then on our panel here we listen to that event. Went a little bit quiet there, sorry about that. Do mono behavior methods. What did I call this? I'm gonna call the same thing. And then we need a skew data. I'm gonna put this on destroy because it's the UI, right? We want this to be updated even when it's not active. And that's not true. That's not true. But I'll keep it on destroy for now. We want actually to trigger when it's not active, but we don't want to update it. Anyways, that's it in here. The sad part is I'm gonna have to call the setup from here. Okay. I think we're good to test. Right. Wrapping it up now. It was very, very fun to do this today. Just gonna test. Hopefully it's gonna work on first try. Unlikely, but we can still hope, right? Okay. Thanks. Okay, that's great sign. I don't see the UI. Do we have any errors? No, we don't. But we do have the localization. Oh, it's not really what we needed, by the way. No. By the way, it's all in Portuguese for some reason. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna pause the game. I'm gonna do a debug. Oh. I think that was the problem. Now, also I'm gonna copy and paste the thing from English to Portuguese because I think it's in Portuguese and I don't want to mess it up. I can translate it later. Okay. Localization. Press it again. I think that's gonna work now. That's what I said last time, right? Cool. Alright, we test it, and then if that works, next step will be to make sure we can select and purchase the skills, and then active that ability. Purchase the abilities, and then once we purchase or select an ability, we then activate that on the character. Clean that up. We didn't get the event. So why did we not get the event? Okay, I didn't want to do that before, but let's do that over here. I'm actually just gonna do that. Again, the goal for now is just to get that working. Wow. Entity loads. I'm gonna quickly do this. So I can keep that as updated as possible. Yeah, cool. All right, let's test this. Hopefully that will work. Because I think the problem was that the object wasn't activated, so the wake method wasn't being called at all. Okay, so it definitely called the method. We can see a lot of localization stuff, but it didn't activate the UI. Oh, but look at that, it worked. Artist shield, artist sword, even has my typo with the thingy. Artist sanctuary. Put the two sprites in there. I forgot to remove that, but that's fine. Okay, so it did work. Last thing that I just want to fix is I just wanted to show what did I do wrong here. Show set options. um oh, I think that's it. Just gonna double check it, and then selections and purchase stuff and other things that we're gonna need. But those are all gonna be on the next stream. Try to develop most of the game on streams now, especially now that it's basically coding and designing. When it comes to testing and bug fixing, that's not very fun. But like when we're designing systems and putting things together, I think that's quite fun to stream. Not as boring work as navigating through broken code, but there we go. Ideally, also, the virtual camera should activate. So let's do that too. I should do it. Okay, duty calls. Unfortunately, I have to leave. Let's see if that works. Then we did a lot in this stream. Next was gonna be purchase information, UI interaction. Probably gonna do some animations on things, and just kind of wrap up the system. I didn't. Oh, because I'm pausing the game. Okay, so. Right. So I'm gonna switch the state to pause. I'm going to. I could just. Sorry, I could just pause the game. And then I think I can change the virtual camera to work regardless of the time scale. Units is taking way too long to compile lately. Way too long. Oh, it doesn't look like we can change it. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so I'll do Atlas pause. I'll just pause the character. Just for now. Next stream, I'm probably gonna fix all this. Make sure that all the interactions work, then polish with the animations. If we don't have time to do it all, we do animations on the one after. I'll try to do tomorrow and Friday, just so I can wrap up this system. Because it's been on my plate for a little bit of time, and this is one of the main changes that we did to the skill system. So yeah, that's why I want to get this done as soon as possible, so we can start testing. We have a lot of changes to designs, and we have a bunch of new UI to build as well. Which should be a lot of fun actually, because it's all improvement over the last or the previous iteration that we had. And level design as well, we're updating a lot of that. So all fun stuff, but also a lot of work. So yeah, let's go. There you go. Okay, so that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, ideally, um, this those two things would match or line up with the two columns in here. So I don't know how that's gonna work well. I could either batch with the, well, you know, like spacing those two a little bit more and zooming in the camera a little bit more maybe. But honestly, this is already fine. Not too sold on the opacity. I think it can be a little bit distracting. But I'm not sure. Like, I like how it looks though. And it's all populating correctly from the database that we have. So it's all working. Last thing to make it work and make it functional, I should say, is to, oh, this is wrong, to make it interactable so I can actually select either of them and purchase it. That's the final thing. What I'm gonna do now, just real quick, is remove this one. As I said before, some special items, we're only gonna require one of them, but I don't want this one to show. And I think on the check I did if it was equal to 0, but it should really be if it's equal to 1. No. Okay. Let's test that, and we should be good. Pause the game. There we go. We do need to refresh the table though. Oh, what? Yeah, there you go. As you can see, we have the item and quantity, and if it's just one, it's just the item. Cool. I like how this looks. So just make it interactable now. I think it works. I think it makes sense. Yeah, all good. Okay. All right, that's it for today. A lot of progress made. There's still, like, there's a little bit of functionality to do and a lot of polishing to do on that system with animations and stuff. So I'll continue tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna continue with that tomorrow. Hopefully I can do a stream as well. Fortunately I have to leave now. If I could, I just work on this game all day, but yeah, really fun about that. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody that watched and hang out with me and left a comment as well and interact. And so yeah, thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. And I'll be back with more game development too.